Hey everybody, this is Anthony from VR Game Rankings, and I'd like to welcome you to our very first daily vlog for the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what's the deal? A daily vlog for this VR Game Rankings YouTube channel? What is the idea behind that? Well, basically, what I'm trying to do here, if you guys don't know already, I have a website called vrgamerankings.com. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make this website one of the better VR gaming websites that are on the internet. I personally feel like there isn't that great of VR gaming websites. And back in late April, when I decided to start VR Game Rankings, I was looking at some of the various VR gaming websites out there, and there just wasn't anything that like really spoke to me from a VR gaming standpoint. There are VR gaming websites, but just none that like really like spoke to me personally. And so I thought, you know what, I can make a website. Why not? You know, anything can happen, right? So I decided to make this website called VR Game Rankings. And we're doing well with VR Game Rankings, but I decided to start a YouTube channel to kind of help promote the website and kind of be another way to expose people to the website, and then also, of course, just have the YouTube channel itself. Basically, what I'm doing here, for those that don't know, is I have like a regular day job that I have, but I don't really like the regular day job, okay? I'm trying to create a career for myself in the VR gaming industry. I love virtual reality. I love VR. I love AR. I feel like this VR AR thing is going to be around for the next 20, 30 years. I feel like this is the new entertainment medium. Now, we might be a little bit ahead of the curve because your average person out there doesn't know much about VR, doesn't know much about AR. It's not even in their thought process, but I believe over the next 5 to 10 years, VR and AR is going to be a huge thing. And I kind of look at it like, if you think about television, television arrived in the late 1930s, I believe. But most people in America did not have an actual television themselves until you got to like the 1950s. And television is pretty much the dominant media form that we had for many, many years. But I believe that virtual reality and augmented reality, I believe that that's the future. I believe we're going to be making a switch over to this idea of not having a screen in like one room in your house and everybody goes into that room and they sit down and they gather around the TV. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think we're looking at a future where screens are going to be wherever you want them to be. And if you want to be completely immersed in a world, you can be completely immersed in a world. But if you want to be in the regular world and you want to bring some digital things into your world, you're going to be able to do that too. And I think it's going to be an exciting mixture of both virtual reality and augmented reality. And I believe that this is an industry that is not going anywhere, and it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And so when I created VR Game Rankings as a website, my hope is that I can do this for 20 years, 25 years. I don't know, you know, as long as I want to go until I want to retire and not do it anymore. But my regular day job that I have, it's okay, but it's not what I want to do. It's not what I'm passionate about. So I'm trying to create a career for myself with VR Game Rankings, with the website, and also with this YouTube channel. And so recently I just started the YouTube channel, like just a few days ago, actually. And the very first video that I came out with was the Oculus top 20 VR games. The top 20 Oculus Rift games, our VR Game Rankings countdown video. And so I came out with that video, I believe it was Saturday morning is when that video released. And so that was the very first VR Game Rankings YouTube video, and just started this channel up. And what I want to do as far as that goes is I want to make more of these countdown videos. I want to do one for the HTC Vive. I want to do one for PlayStation VR. I want to do videos on like the top 20 wave shooters, top 20 horror games. I want to do all kinds of stuff like that. Now, one of the downsides though is that video that I made, which is almost 1 hour long, I spent the better part of 3 days, almost 4 days, working on that video. And when I'm doing that, I'm not working on the website. And so it's kind of a conflict of interest. I want to do these videos because I think it helps the overall VR Game Rankings brand. But at the same time, I need to be working on the website as much as possible as well. So the top 20 videos, because they take longer to produce, those are going to be a little bit more sporadic. But I thought what I could do is I could do a daily vlog, and I could talk on the mic. I could, I have a camera going, I got a mic going. All I have to do is get up in front of this mic and basically talk about my experiences, my daily experiences in VR, and trying to break into this VR gaming industry as a VR journalist and as a YouTuber and somebody that is got a website. And that's what I'm trying to do here. There's no real ulterior motive. I'm trying to go for my dream here, and having this daily vlog I think is a good idea, because what it does is it provides some additional content to my YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel just kind of help promotes VR Game Rankings in general. So the plan of attack is that I'm going to try to do this daily, Monday through Friday, not on Saturday, not on Sunday. And I'm going to try to do it for a half an hour. And so I'm just going to sit here with you guys and talk about VR and talk about what's going on a daily basis for about a half an hour. Now, what is the topics that I'm going to be talking about during this half hour? Well, first of all, it's going to be a free flow discussion, okay? So I don't have a script. I'm not going off of any kind of script. This is completely off the cuff, and I might have some little topics that I want to hit, things that I want to remember to mention, but there's no kind of script. I'm just going to go completely off the script. This is just me talking directly to you guys and kind of just talking about what it's like to try to have this website and try to have a YouTube channel. But also, I'm not always going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about just being a VR gamer in general and just what's going on in VR. What game did I play last night? What game am I looking forward to playing later today? But I will cover the website as well. Like what have we updated on the website? Am I working on any major articles for the website? So it's going to kind of be a free-for-all as far as that goes. And I'm basically just going to kind of talk with you guys for about a half an hour. And when the half an hour is up, the half an hour is up. And I'm going to try to do this Monday through Friday, not Saturday, not Sunday. And then the other thing I have to mention is, like I said, I do have a regular day job. Now, the day job that I have, the workflow that we have comes in ebbs and flows. And so right now, I'm actually off work. I'm on like a work furlough, so I can work 100% on VR Game Rankings and the YouTube channel, and that's what I've been doing. But I will get a call from my work, and they will say, hey, you've got to report back to work on blah, blah, blah date. And when that happens, that obviously will put a little wrench in my daily YouTube plans and also in the website plans. Now, it'll depend on how many hours I'm working. I might still try to do the daily vlog as much as I can, but it might come much later in the day because I might have to wait till I get off work, then record it, then post it. So I don't know how this is going to work. This is an experiment. I'm going to play this by ear. I don't really know how this is going to work. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. I've decided that I'm going to try to do at the very least 20 of these daily vlogs. And then if it's a complete disaster after I do 20 daily vlogs, if I decide this just isn't working at all, then I'll go ahead and stop doing it. But I want to give it the college try. I want to do at least 20 of these and give it a real chance to survive. And if it does, then that's wonderful. And if it doesn't, well, it's a learning experience, and it's always good to have these learning experiences. Doing a vlog like this is kind of weird for me. But I think doing stuff like this, I think putting yourself out there and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, I think that helps you grow. And I'm trying to be all in with VR game rankings. And I don't have a plan B. VR game rankings is plan A, and I don't have any plan B. VR game rankings has to work. And I kind of feel like doing this daily vlog, like one of the nice things about doing this daily vlog is I'm kind of putting my intentions out there into the ecosphere, or whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to put my intentions out there, and I'm hoping that by doing that, I kind of like force myself to follow through, because I think if you say you're going to do something, if you just say it to yourself, that's one thing. But if you say it to a whole bunch of other people, you're kind of putting yourself out there. And then if you don't follow through with that, you're going to have regrets, and you're going to be like, man, I fucked up on that thing, right? And so I feel like if I put myself out there with this vlog in terms of what I'm trying to do, maybe it'll help strengthen my commitment and kind of give me that daily, that boost to my mojo, and like keep me fired up and keep me going after this thing and keep me trying to pursue my dream, which my dream right now is to have a career in the VR gaming industry, to run a successful VR gaming website, to have a successful VR gaming YouTube channel, and to try to make a living. I'm just trying to make a living. I'm not trying to be like some type of millionaire or something like that. I just want to earn a regular living, and I'm going to try to see if I can do that, and I'm going to give it 110%. I'm all in. Like I said, there's no plan B. This is it. I'm all in. I have to do this. And so this daily vlog, I think, is a good thing. It's kind of like a therapeutic type of thing where, I put myself out there and we'll just see what happens. But basically, I'm going to talk for 30 minutes, and then that's pretty much it. There's no editing. Right now, my video window is not completely widescreen, and I'm not sure why that's the case. I'm using OBS to record this. I have a Logitech C920 webcam that I'm using for the video. My microphone is a what is it called? The blue snowball, the white ice microphone, which I always use for the VR Roundtable podcast as well. And you know what? Actually, speaking of VR Roundtable, we just had a brand new episode that came out today, episode 55. If you haven't seen that episode yet, I highly recommend go to the VR Roundtable YouTube channel. You can check out that episode. We've got 55 of them. There's Let's Plays. There's all kinds of things that are on that channel. On that channel, I'm one of the hosts, but there's also Gary, there's Steve and Chris, and I think we're providing some pretty good content for people out there, so definitely go check that out. But one of the things I wanted to talk about on this very first vlog, hold on one second, I need to get a sip of water. Hold on a second, and I'm sorry, there's no editing. Part of this thing is I want this to just be like a conversation between me and somebody else, and it's just going to be a straight up deal. So hold on one sec here. Okay, I needed that. Okay, but when it comes to episode 55 of the VR Roundtable podcast, on the most recent episode, one of the very first games that we talk about is From Other Suns by Gunfire Games. They had, a free beta weekend this weekend. And when I recorded that episode, we recorded the episode on Saturday. Okay, we recorded the episode on Saturday, and Friday, I tried to play From Other Suns 2 different times, and I was able to play it to a degree, but I really didn't get into the game. And I feel bad. I feel really bad because on the VR Roundtable episode that I was on, I really couldn't talk much about this game, and I didn't have much to say about it because I didn't really get to see what I needed to see, because we recorded our episode pretty early on Saturday, and all I had was that Friday to try it, and I did try it, but I didn't get into a game properly. Now, last night, I was able to play From Other Suns for a good little period of time, and I actually got to see what Gunfire Games is actually going for with this game, and I wish I had that knowledge for episode 55 and could have talked much better about From Other Suns on episode 55. So this is kind of like a little bonus session, I guess you could say. I'll talk a little bit about what I experienced with From Other Suns last night. So on Friday, when I tried to play From Other Suns, what happened is I got in there, and you know how there's a tutorial that you get into at the start. So they're walking you through the tutorial. And at one point, the guy in the tutorial says, you know, hit this button right here and it'll bring up this menu. And so I do that, it hits the button, and then it has like options and like exit tutorial. And for some dumb reason, I hit the exit tutorial button and I got out of the tutorial, and then I just decided to just go straight into the game. And I didn't do any tutorial whatsoever. And for a game like From Other Suns, that is a major mistake. You have to do this tutorial. You really do. In fact, not only do you have to do this tutorial, but you probably need to do the tutorial like 2 or 3 times just to make sure you know all the different buttons, you know all the different things that you're hitting on the sides of your wrist when you're actually in the game, and kind of what the idea of the game is all about. And so when I got into the game on Friday, I didn't do any tutorial, and I got into this game with 3 other dudes, and they're running around, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. So it was a major mistake on my part not to play the tutorial. And so last night I did the tutorial. I did the entire tutorial, and it's actually a really cool tutorial. I really like what Gunfire Games has done here. Like, in terms of the thing that they put on your wrists with the health and your menu and all of that, it's very similar to Lone Echo. I think this is something that we're probably going to see from a lot more developers, where they can put something on your wrist with a little button that's hovering, and you can use your actual real life finger and touch it. And with rumble and stuff, when you touch it, it gives a little rumble. So this is a great idea. I think it's working well. I mean, we saw how well it worked with Lone Echo, and I think a lot of other developers are going to see this and be like, you know what, this makes a hell of a lot of sense for menus and those kinds of things, and knowing how much health you have, and for inventory and all of those kinds of things. So I think it's a great idea. And when I was in this tutorial, it was a clean experience. You know, it was a really nice tutorial, and it explains the whole game very well. And it's a shame because on episode 55 of VR Roundtable, I just didn't, I hadn't experienced the tutorial, and the games that I were in, the brief games that I got into, like, I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. And so really all I did was kind of look around at the environment, look at the lighting, look at the walls and the ceiling and the color, and you know, get a feel for the flow and the locomotion and that kind of thing. But I really had no idea what the hell this game was all about. And people were talking about this game all weekend long. And so I was like, man, I got to go back in that game. Maybe I need to do that tutorial because I don't know what I'm doing. And so last night went back into it, did the tutorial 2 different times. Then I went into an actual game, and I set it up so it was just me by myself. And so I'm walking around my ship, and you have your other ship members. And see, what I didn't realize is you have this like menu that you can activate, and you can tell one of your ship crew members to go to the engine room and to repair the engine. And you can go to the bridge, and you get into these battles with like these other pirate ships. You can shoot missiles at them. You can shoot your fire, their shields and stuff. So what Gunfire Games is doing with this game, I've heard it described as FTL. Faster Than Light, which is a mobile game that was really popular. I think they might have a version 2 for like Steam and stuff. I never played FTL. This is a game that just completely missed me. I just never did it, right? So I don't have that background, but this does seem very similar to Star Trek Bridge Crew in a way. It's kind of like they're mixing like some of Star Trek Bridge Crew and FTL, along with the fact that you actually are in these worlds. You go to these different space stations, you go to these other ships, and you have this little warp room that you go into, and you warp into the space station, or you warp into the other ship. And then when you're on the other ship, that's when you can encounter enemies, and that's when things can go wrong, or you actually have combat. There's these guys that you shoot and stuff. So the very first time I played it, I never even saw an enemy. I didn't shoot at anybody. I never used the guns other than like shooting at the wall or something like that. So playing it last night, I finally did get a feel for how that gameplay works. And I actually see what Gunfire Games is going for with this. And I think if you were in this game with three of your good buddies and you guys are going through and you're like, okay, you do this, you do that, and you're transferring to these space stations and stuff, and then you're doing combat, and one guy goes in front with the shield, the other guys hang back. There's a lot of cool things that could happen with this. And then of course the battles and the stuff that you can get into just on the bridge, where you're just kind of in a combat mode, Star Trek bridge crew style, and working together with other people. This is actually a pretty cool freaking game. Now, it is procedurally generated, and so when you get into these ships, one of the worries that you have with procedurally generated content is it going to look different enough? Is there going to be enough of a switch? Are you going to really just be seeing like the same kind of hallways, but instead of the hallway going this way and that way, it goes the other way, or it goes around in a circle, or the hallway is a little bit of a different color? So I don't know exactly how good all of that is going to be. I'm going to try to go back into this From Other Suns again today if I can. I don't know when this beta actually ends. I probably should have checked that before doing this little vlog, but I definitely want to go back in and I want to go ahead and check that out and see how that is. But I feel bad about episode 55 of VR Roundtable because I did not do a good job talking about From Other Suns, because I just didn't experience the game in its full glory. And I kind of feel bad for Gunfire Games in terms of like, I didn't give it a fair shake. It was my bad. On Friday, when I was trying it out, I don't know why I hit the exit tutorial button, and I was thinking when I hit it, I didn't think it would actually exit the tutorial, because he was kind of like explaining your little side menu. And so I hit it, and then it was like, oh shit, it actually exited the tutorial. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me just get in a game and see if I can play a game. A lot of these VR games, what I like to do is when I get that headset on, I kind of just want to get into the experience. I want to get into the experience and kind of feel the experience out. And then if I feel like, you know what, I need to know more about this game, then I'll go back to the menu and try to figure out the controls, or try to see if there's a pause menu and see if it says what the controls are and stuff. But I usually kind of just like to jump into a game. But a game like From Other Suns that has a lot of detail and a lot of subtlety to it, and there's a lot of different controls and there's a lot of different concepts that go with that game, it's kind of hard to do that. So anyway, that's From Other Suns, and so I'm glad that I've had this with this first episode of our daily vlog. I'm glad that I was able to speak on that a little bit, because I do feel bad about that. Let's see here. I only have about 7 minutes left in this half hour of this daily vlog, so I'm trying to think. Let's see, what else can I cover here? Hold on 1 second. Okay, stuff I'm working on. So for VR game rankings, obviously we just did that Oculus top 20 video. But as for the website itself, one thing that I have updated recently, if you go to the website, you can go to the top 20 most wanted Oculus Rift games and the top 20 most wanted HTC Vive games. I updated both of those charts. Both of those charts had not been updated in a little while. We still had Project Cars 2 and Duck Season and Dimension Hunter. They were still on the top 20 list, even though those games are already available. They're not most wanted. Those games are out now. So the idea with the list is that it would be updated as routinely as possible, but I'm trying to do so many different things with the website, and I'm being involved in so many different things that I just have to kind of bounce around from thing to thing, and I try to do what I can when I can do it. But I did update these most recent Oculus top 20 most wanted and the HTC Vive top 20 most wanted. And so what I need to do is I need to work on the PlayStation VR one. I need to work on the PlayStation VR top 20. And then once I do that, we have a PlayStation VR top 40. I need to work on that a little bit too. And then we have a top 20 most wanted overall games where we consider all three platforms. And then we have a top 50 most wanted overall games where we consider all three platforms. And basically what all this most wanted game rankings are about, what it's really about is, I feel like in this VR gaming industry, like if you're in regular gaming, there's a million places you can go to find out like what the hottest games are that's going to be coming out over the next several months. Like there's a million websites for that. When it comes to VR, I've found that I have to practically be my own detective and like try to go here and try to go there and try to research, what's coming out, and look around here and look around there. And it seems like you have to kind of go out of your way to try to find out what the biggest games are. Which games should I be saving my money for? There's so many games that are coming in October. Have you guys seen how many games are coming in October? Oh my God, October is absolute madness. There are so many big time VR games coming in October. And so I think if you go check out a list like this, I think what it does is it'll let you know, hey, oh shit, I forgot about that one game. I got to make sure I have enough money set aside because that's the game I want. And so that's what the top 20 most wanteds are all about for like the Vive, the Rift, PlayStation VR, and then for the overall. And what we would really like is if you guys out there could submit what your most wanted games are. If you're an HTC Vive gamer, what are your most wanted Vive games? If you're an Oculus Rift gamer, what are your most wanted Rift games? PlayStation VR gamer, what are your most wanted PlayStation VR games? Because if you give us those lists, we take those lists and we tally it like all the other rankings that we tally. And what that does is it helps out everyday VR consumers that don't cover this stuff. They don't act like a detective and try to find out everything. They'll hear something here and they'll hear something there. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to put this stuff into order, and we're trying to say, look, this is probably the most important games, like the top 5. You got to pay attention. These are the ones you really want to track. But if you look at that whole top 20, you'll probably see, oh man, I totally forgot about this game. I totally forgot about that game. For example, on the top 20 list, one of the games that I added was Pixel Ripped. Have you guys heard about this game called Pixel Ripped? It's coming from Pixel Ripped Incorporated. So I heard about this Pixel Ripped game a while ago. They had like a trailer and stuff, and the day that it all hit, I saw the trailer and I heard about it, but I forgot about it. I just kind of forgot about it. And I was talking to a good buddy of mine, ArrowinX. You guys might have heard of him. He was on Reddit all the time. And we talk on a regular basis. And I was asking him, what are some of your most wanted games coming up? And he mentioned Pixel Ripped. And I was like, Pixel Ripped? I just forgot about it. And then I started looking up some information on Pixel Ripped, and I'm like, damn, this game looks hella cool, man, because it's like got this retro vibe to it where you're playing like a Game Boy in a VR world. So like I'm standing in a VR world, things are going on all around, but I'm holding a Game Boy, what looks like a Game Boy, and there's a game actually playing on the screen, and I can actually play the game. And that's cool in and of itself. But what this game does beyond that is like the game that's on your Game Boy starts leaking out into the reality that is surrounding you. And it's almost like you have these holograms of like retro games being played in your actual reality, which is so freaking cool. It's one of the reasons I'm interested in like Magic Leap and HoloLens, because I think they could do some crazy stuff with that. Well, anyway, guys, we have basically hit the 30-minute mark. And I only want to spend 30 minutes on these daily vlogs. And like I said, there's no editing. I apologize for lip smacking noises or for the fact that I really need to sip some water really bad. But that's kind of going to be how this is. It's going to be kind of free form, off the cuff, and just raw. But what I can tell you is that I do have passion for this VR gaming industry and for the AR gaming industry as well. I'm in VR now, but I have passion for this, and I'm going to try to bring the passion, and hopefully that will show up, on the website and on this YouTube channel. And so basically, I just want to thank you guys for watching episode 1 of the VR Game Rankings daily vlog. This was the VR Game Rankings daily vlog for October 2nd. please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and please leave a comment. And by the way, check this out. You guys can go ahead and send me questions at vrgamerankings@gmail.com. vrgamerankings@gmail.com. Yeah, vrgamerankings@gmail.com. I'm forgetting the email. But if you have a question that you want me to answer on tomorrow's episode, shoot me a question. You know, I'm willing to answer questions. I'm not going to get into like my personal life and stuff like that. This is going to be a VR focused thing. But anything VR related, or like running the website, or like trying to break into the industry, or like being in a situation where you're kind of going for it and you don't know what the hell is going to happen, like any questions like that are good. And I'd be happy to answer any questions as far as that goes. And it's just some extra little stuff we could do during this daily 30-minute vlog. But basically that's going to do it for this very first episode of the vlog, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Later.